Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Papa Boris, and in this video I'm going to play a game of Wingspan against a couple of AIs. If my rules video wasn't enough, hopefully this video will really give you a sense of what the gameplay is like to help you decide if you want to buy the physical board game, and I do stress the physical board game because I think the app is bad. Let's go ahead and do normal AI. I could very well lose. I'm actually not a very experienced player at this, so please know that while I will be saying things in a confident sounding tone of voice, I'm not actually an expert on this game. You should take all my thoughts as working opinions of someone very early in their Wingspan career that are probably going to change and not the epitome of high strategy. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and begin. So at the beginning of the game, I'm not really all that concerned about bonus cards, so the fact that I can look at them is not all that relevant to my initial decision making. What I would like to see are birds that are cheap and provide resources. So a good example would be the grasshopper sparrow, which costs only one resource, and it gives you eggs when activated. It's in the... I really should remember what this thing's called. Brush, grassland, whatever the hell, the yellow one. So whenever you do that action, you basically get an extra egg. So that's like a good thing. This is another example of a good card. It only costs one resource. Now this gives you points. Basically, whenever you activate it, there's a decent-ish chance that you tuck a bird behind this card, and that's worth a point at the end of the game. So this is, one of those things where it's not like amazing, but it does give you a way to place a bird relatively cheaply, improving your actions, and it only costs one resource. Now, that's not to say that you can't get a bird at the beginning of the game that costs 2 or even 3 resources sometimes. It's just a matter of, how valuable is that bird. So, for example, this one, which is just worth points at the end of the game, but it costs 2 resources, is not that exciting as an initial card. This actually is a pretty decent hand. This bird's perfectly fine. You do have to pay 2 resources for it, but it gives you resources as well. Now, we can take a peek at the bird feeder. There's 2 worms in here, 3 worms. So if I play this bird early on, and then use it, I can get those extra worms pretty reliably, at least in the early couple of stages. So let's go ahead and definitely keep that bird and this one because it lays extra eggs. That seems perfectly fine. And then this is an interesting one, just because it's cheap. Let's take a peek at the bird offer. So one other player... Okay, this is so weird to see. Is there anything else besides that? I wish it was easier to... Hang on, how about here? Yeah, this one just costs, it looks like a grain. When another player takes the lay eggs action, this bird lays one on another with a bowl nest, which I'm currently not going to have. It's important that it can't lay eggs on itself. This one's just worth a whole bunch of... God darn it, freaking interface. This one's just worth a bunch of points. This one is very expensive, and it's just worth points. Okay, so of the starting offer birds, this one is a good one because it costs just 1 resource and it gives you resources. It gives you eggs when your opponents lay eggs. I should have mentioned in my rules video, this can only trigger... Oh, it says it. Never mind. Whew, okay, so it says once between turns. Okay, you can only get this once between turns. So that's actually not a bad one. But anyway, why am I looking at birds in the offer? Right, to decide if it's better to take this thing or to try to grab a bird from the offer. Well, I am the first player, which means I can grab this as my first action. This is the kind of reason why it's important that you not know who the first player is until after everybody's chosen their starting stuff. If I didn't know for sure I would be the first player, planning on getting this thing would be risky, because what if someone else took it before I could get at it? Alright, anyway, so that's enough of that. I guess I won't do that because I probably wouldn't do that in the physical game. We'll just keep this thing. Hello? Hello? What is going on here? Oh, okay, here we go. So now I get to keep 2 foods. What I'm going to do here is keep the foods I need to get this bird, the berry and the worm, so I can play that right away, and then take the food action to grab hopefully a mouse and a worm so I can play my other 2 birds, and at some point I'll also need to lay eggs. Let's take a look at our bonus cards. Birds that have at least 1 egg laid on them, and then birds with cup nests. I like this bonus card a lot because as a beginner, my favorite strategy is just to kind of get up to 2 or 3 in all of the things. I don't go for some crazy weird synergy thing where you go up to 5 and pull off crazy stuff. I just play a very simple game where I try to get the first 3 on all of them, and then maybe a couple of the next ones, and just go for birds that are worth tons of points using the fact that I can get 2 or 3 resources with every action that I take, so I just try to play as many birds as possible. So if you do go for the just play as many birds as possible strategy, it's not actually all that difficult to get a bunch of birds that have an egg laid on them. So I'm going to grab this one, because then I don't care what kind of birds I have. And then we're going to start the game. Oh, and I was wrong. Oh my god, my critique of the game is wrong. It looked like I was going to be first, but I guess they did choose the starting player at random, and then this guy went first, even though I was the one that was on the left side. Alright, well, sorry I incorrectly critiqued the game. Oh, no, I am right. Oh, never mind. Okay. No, I chose everything, then they chose everything, then he chose everything, and I am the first player. Okay, so the question then becomes, do I want to sneak in a single card draw action to get this cowbird? Well, no, because I don't have any birds with cup nests at the moment. So I think that would be a little bit foolish, especially because I do want to get rolling to make sure I can get the advantage of this thing while there are still worms in the feeder. So we're going to go ahead and play that card. We'll pay the slug and the berry. And so now, next turn, I'm going to take the food action to grab a mouse, hopefully, if the mouse is still here. Alright, so they drew a card, and then they played a bird. Snowy Egret. What do you do? Oh, this is just a point gaining card. Okay, cool. It's fine with me. So now I could actually still take this bird, but I still don't have any of the cup nests. So we're just going to proceed in the onwards direction. Let's take this action. We're going to grab the mouse. Now I could discard one of these cards in order to get an extra food, but I want to play both of these cards right now, so we're going to not do that. Then I'm going to activate this bird. We're going to take, well, it's tricky. You could choose to keep this one in there if you think no one's going to take it, if you yourself want to get a grain later. The other reason I might not want to take this one is if I do take it, the next person who takes the gathering food action would be able to re-roll all the dice, because then all of the dice would be the same. Actually, do I care about that? Yeah, I'm actually fine with not letting my opponents re-roll the dice in here super easily, because I may want to get food again, in which case I'll be able to get another worm from this. So let's do it like that. So I got a mouse and a worm. Oh, there's a fish in here? What? I did not see there was a... Oh, right, the fish is in here, because of course I couldn't take the fish with my activation thing, right. There was a mouse and a fish and a worm. I took the fish, or took the mouse and the worm, and then the fish was still there. Right. So I probably should have just taken this thing. Any hoodle, now, let's see what we've got going on here. They did draw some stuff. So we got Brewer's Blackbird. When activated, tuck a thing from your hand behind this bird if you do also lay an egg on the bird. Okay, that's very interesting. So basically, you get to trade a card for an egg, which is fine? I don't know. It's kind of expensive. It's a wild card and a grain for a weird power, because a card is sort of equal in value to an egg. Like you can see here, you can trade an egg for a card. You can trade a card for a food, and you can trade a food for an egg. So they're roughly considered equal, although at the end of the game, only the eggs are worth points. That's not that amazing. Okay, so this is tuck a... I know, this is a lot better. So what this one does is it lets you tuck a card for a point, and then you replace it. Granted, if all your cards are valuable, you might not want to trade one for a less valuable card from the deck, but that actually is a good bird. The question is, do I want to spend an action taking it right now? It's tempting for me to wait until I can play this Northern Harrier into the wetland, and then when I take the draw action, I could pay an egg to draw an extra card. In fact, I probably want to... this is... if this were a forest bird, it'd be better, because I could take the food action and then lay an egg. As it is, I'll need to play it onto my egg space. I don't think early in the game I'd be wanting to pay a food for an extra egg. So I'm not going to really benefit from having this action instead of that action. But I would benefit because if I took eggs with this bird developed, I'd get an extra egg. So do I just want to just play my birds? I could just play this and lay eggs and then draw cards. And I'm not like crazy about any of these birds. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Let's just go ahead and play this one. Pay my slug. And I apologize in advance if my interchangeable references to things like worms, slugs, whatever, bugs, causes any confusion. So they laid eggs, and they laid eggs. Okay, so the scoring bonus, by the way, is eggs in the wetland, which they both have 2 of. This is my wetland bird. I can tie them all. It's not a super big deal. I'm not super concerned about the round bonus scoring. I find that it's like not a huge deal most of the time, so I'm not like super concerned about it, but I can tie them. If we all tie, we each get 1 point, because it'd be 5 divided by 3, rounded down, which is 1. So it's a way to drag them down more so than to bring myself up. So at this point, do I want to just play this? I mean, I think so. I do want to have it down before I draw cards, so that I can starting to get points with it. And I could actually choose to play it in the egg habitat. Hang on, that's actually interesting. I forgot about this option. So if I play it in the egg habitat, then I would be laying 3 eggs instead of 2. So I have 4 actions left, right? So I could like go 1 action to play this bird, 2 actions lay eggs, 3 actions to take 2 slugs, 4 actions to draw this card. I need a 5th action. Yeah, alright, I'm just going to play it in the wetland. This might be a mistake, but we're just going to go for it. So we'll do that there, and I'll put it in the wetland. And pass my turn, we'll pay the mouse, call it a day. Maybe I should have taken food while the slugs are here. It would suck. I actually messed this up. I shouldn't have done that. I should have taken the food while there were 2 slugs in there, because I do want 2 slugs. That was a little bit of a misplay. So you played a black turn. I'll be looking at what birds they're playing. It's a very good one, actually. So this one only costs a single resource. It has a star nest, meaning it's a wild card. It counts as a nest of any type. And is worth 4 points. And it has a decent card cycling power. This is a very just good bird. Just for 1 resource, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So I can draw. What I could do is I could take the slug and then re-roll, and as long as a slug is rolled, I get a slug. And that's a little risky. There's some chance it doesn't happen. I could take a fish instead. The problem with the fish plan is it doesn't let me play anything here. I guess this thing, but I don't really care about that thing. So, I guess I'm going to roll the dice on this. I'm going to take the food action. We're going to take the slug. This is kind of a weird rule. So after you take a thing and you have this power, note that there is no slug in the bird feeder, but you can actually re-roll the dice to see if a slug shows up. And it did. And I am going to just take the wild card one here. So when you take it, you can't choose the grain, because this is the bird power that only takes slugs, but you can get rid of the die, stop your opponents from having it. So they drew birds. I guess they drew from the top of the deck. You played a wild turkey. That is a very expensive bird. 2 grains and a berry, and it's just worth 8 points. It does have a lot of egg spots. Now you... yes, hang on a second. You now actually can store up to 5 eggs in your wetland. So I'm not going to tie you as far as the bonus round is concerned. But I could get 2nd place for a point. Well, at this point, might as well lay eggs. I mean, I guess what I could do is I could get 2 slugs while they're in there, so I can get this violet-green swallow. But what I really want to do is lay eggs so I can pay an egg to draw an extra card. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. This bird isn't so good that I'm willing to give up a card just to take it. So we'll go ahead and lay eggs. I'm going to lay them in the wetland, because bonus points are in around. I don't want to pay a food to get an extra egg, I don't think. Yeah, so we're going to just call it a good. And then this thing lets me lay an extra egg somewhere. I guess we'll lay it on itself. Okay, so now let's see what they do. You played a yellow-rumped warbler, and you gained food. All right, well, yellow-rumped warbler is a berry or a slug or a grain. It's just 1 point. Oh, that's a very good one. So you can cycle a card from your hand to draw another card. All right, well, that's cool. Good for you. So I guess now I should draw some cards. Let's go ahead and take the card drawing action. So I'm going to take this one. It's a bit expensive for 3 points, but it does let you cycle cards for points. because you lose a card, get a point, and then you replace the card that you paid. So you're not going down in the net value of your cards, but you get a point every time you activate it. So we'll take that. And I will pay an egg for an extra card draw. Gonna pay the egg that's not in my wetland, because that's bonus round scoring. And remember, cards don't get automatically replaced. Oh, this thing is now here. Play a second bird in a wetland. These are very difficult to use. You like save an action, but that's it. And you still have to pay the full cost, including the egg cost of playing the other bird. And this one costs 2 resources. It's not that exciting. I mean, this bird is just so dang cheap. The main issue is I currently don't have any bowl nests, so I'm not getting any value. I'm just going to take a random card. If it's garbage, then I'll just tuck it with this power. And then if it is a good one, then maybe I'll play it. Okay, so I think we've got everything. Oh yeah, I need to actually select that. All right, so let's go ahead and select that one. All right, let's look at, so now we're activating the Northern Harrier's ability, which has a decently high chance of scoring you a point. Yeah, it's less than 75 centimeters, so I'm going to tuck it underneath, and that is now a point at the end of the game. Yeah, see right there? That symbol. Wow, it's ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, gain food. I should probably look what they're doing. Gain food. Okay, so there's just a thing. Oh, that's actually good. So I can re-roll the bird feeder when I take the food action. Anyhoodle. So this thing right here, this one feather, that's because I have a point at the end of the game because I have one tucked bird. And then this is actually a little bit deceiving. This is only cached food. That's birds that say cache of food. It's not food in general. Food is not worth points at the end of the game. So although during the game, food and cards and eggs are all considered approximately equal, at the end of the game, only eggs are actually worth points. Okay, so right now I am tied for first in the wetland egg contest. This person could take the egg action and win. This person is already capped out. So what's probably going to happen is this person is going to take eggs and win, and then the other of the two of us are going to share second place, which is 1 divided by 2, which is 0. So I really am not concerned about that at all. Not that it matters, but the point is I don't mind spending these eggs because I only have 1 point at stake. Now I could take the food action. What is this? Oh, hey! I don't mind that at all. Okay. So, it's tough. It's a lot of tough choices here. This is a cup nest. That is the bonus thing in the next round. It's worth 6 points. It has a good ability. It lets the food action give me a grain or a berry and also a slug every time I take food. I think I want this thing. So I need a berry and a grain. Now, it's tricky because I want my 2 slugs to play this thing at some point. But this is not as high of a priority as this, I don't think. So I am actually going to take food, and I'm going to pitch this violet-green swallow to get an extra food. So what we're going to do is I don't want the mouse, because that doesn't help me get this bird down. We're going to re-roll. Oh my lord, that is hysterical. Okay, it's not the greatest thing. So now this sucks because this thing doesn't trigger because there's no slugs in the feeder. And I don't really need these resources. I mean, I need the grain. That's good. But I don't have a berry. Now, you can pay 2 food of the same type to get 1 food of any type. So I could pay these 2 slugs to get a berry. The issue is, then I'm not playing this swallow. And I don't think I want to discard this swallow just to get an extra resource that I don't care about. Like, if there was a berry or a slug here, well, no, I don't care about the slug. If there was a berry here, then maybe. Now, I could do kind of a weird play. I could actually take the 2 mice. I could discard a card, take both mice, and then for this thing's ability, I could re-roll the feeder, and then if a slug came up, I would get it. Then I'd have 2 mice and a 3rd slug, which is not that helpful. Okay, so we're not going to pay a card to draw an extra thing. Ended up being kind of a weird action because the roll was so terrible. No berries and no slugs. It just kind of sucked. So we'll just pass that. And then, unfortunately, I don't get any bird from the feeder. So a bit of a lame one there. Okay. So we actually did end up tying for first, which means we get 5 divided by 2 round down, which is 2 points along with the green player, and then this person gets nothing because the 3rd place is 0 in the first round. Okay, so the first player token passes to the right. This guy goes first now. So what did you do, guy? You gained food, and you drew birds. Okay, what I'm going to do is think. Because either I play this, and, you know, actually it kind of makes sense to play this. I could play this on the food area, and then I just get to draw 2 dice. I don't have to, what's her face? I don't have to, like, roll for it. Or I could take this and roll for it and hope I get a berry in there. The berry's only one side of the dice, so it's not like that amazing to try to roll for berries. I might as well just pay my 2 slugs as a wild if I can get any kind of a slug. Oh yeah, I should look at what the offer is. So this is 2 berries. This is very expensive. 2 berries, very difficult. This is 1 slug, and it's 5 points. Okay, what's you? Oh, all players draw a card. Interesting. Do I benefit from that? Maybe this is helpful? Repeat a brown power on 1 other bird in this habitat. Whoa. Okay. Now we're getting some synergy going. So this, which can go anywhere, I could, like, start getting lots of food from the feeder. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to rush this into play. I don't know if it's the right play, but it's the play I'm going to make. I'm going to do this. I don't want any freaking mice, so we're going to re-roll. Alright, that is better. There's still no berries, but you're not that likely to get berries. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to grab this one to take a slug. I'm going to keep this, I think. So I'm not going to pitch it to get an extra food. But I get now another slug from my great crested flycatcher. And what I'm going to do is next turn I'm just going to pay 2 slugs for a berry and play this thing. So you got food, you drew birds. Okay, that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is put this thing in. So I am going to pay, yes, 3 slugs counting as a berry, 1 slug and a grain. That's exactly what I want, so we're going to play that. I need to pay an egg as it's the second column. That's fine. And we're going to pass the turn. And I would actually like to get this down as well, so that next time I draw food, I can start to use that ability. So you got food. So now these people just love preparing the bird feeder for me. Jeez. Okay, so any good... I do like this bird. I should probably just take this bird. I'm gonna do it. I mean, now is the time to take the food, because then I can, if I roll grains or berries or slugs, I get bonus food. You want to do it when the feeder is as full as possible. So the AI priming me to re-roll it is great. But I have a slug. I can play the sandpiper. I think that'd be nice. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the sandpiper. I'm going to pay an egg, my last egg actually, to draw an extra card. And this is so tempting to try to pull off and then just like get ridiculous food. You know, I'm just going to take it. This might be wrong, but I'm going to go to try to stack the forest and see how that works out for me. Alright, so now we get to try to tuck a card. 79. I do not get to hunt the hawk, sadly. So no point for me there. Canada Goose. Discard a grain to tuck 2 from the deck behind. Oh, from the deck! Oh, so you're paying a grain for 2 points, basically. Interesting. Okay, well, we got other plans here. Swanson's hawk? What are you? Swainson's hawk. Oh, that's just a point gathering one. And then you took food, so someone re-rolled it. Now, the advantage of someone else re-rolling it is now I know it's in there. And so now it's like, oh, this is a pretty good time to go in here because I can get the berry and the slug as bonuses and also get another slug. That seems good. So I can play this and then just go off in the forest. This thing is starting to look... Well, this thing, I could play both of these in the forest. I would need to draw eggs at some point, unfortunately. Oh, actually, I can't play in the forest because I don't have any eggs. Okay, so I need to take an egg action before I can play these. So the question is, do I want to play both of these into the forest before I draw food? Well, I can't because I don't have the... So I'm gonna need to get food. This is a good time to get food, so I'm just gonna get food right now. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this one for a slug. I mean, as everything needs slugs. Oh, and I get another one. Well, I'm going to take the fish, even though I don't really need the fish. I just don't want to risk any re-rolling shenanigans. I want to guarantee that both of these things get their bonuses off. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to get the berry for that one. And we're going to get the slug for that one. And I don't want to re-roll it. Completely fine without re-rolling it. So now we got a zillion foods. Kind of annoying here. We played a Fringious Hawk. Another... Roll all dice not in the feeder. It's caching. It's just points. Okay, that's fine. So now I need to pause and take eggs so I can actually play another bird in here. The question is, do I want to pay a food to get an extra egg? I am going to be rolling in the food, really. I mean, just... What is this? Is this any good? If this bird... Oh, move it to their habitat. And tuck a bird from behind its guard if you do lay an egg on the bird. It's a star nest with 5... Oh, God, a 5-star... Or a 5-capacity star nest? Jeez. That would help for this scoring round and for the last scoring round. How are you guys doing on the scoring round? No one's doing anything for this scoring round. I do have this one. Okay, let's just take eggs. We're gonna lay them in our bowl bird. Do I want to pay a food for an extra one? Sure, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be rolling in the food. I mean, in theory, that's when you should be doing that kind of thing, right? Choose food. Let's discard a slug. Those are easy. Those are easier to get than fish or berries, and I get bonus slugs as well. Let's lay it on that bird, and then we also get this guy. Right, this is the one who's activating right now. I guess I should lay it on this one, because this is the one that's worth points next time. It seems kind of unlikely, but we'll go for it. What the? Okay, now we're activating this one. All right, let's put an egg down. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. All right. So, now, I can get both of these birds down into the woods. I can't, because I spent my slug. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I needed to pay my fish for the extra egg, not the slug! Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, yep. Smart plays, Boris. Smart plays. Wait, repeat? Hold on, how does this work? Oh god, oh Jesus. Repeat, is that only birds that already went? Or can you use ones that are still to come? Don't know, but I guess I should put this one down first, you know, in case it is, not the way that I want it to be. Shoot. I really should have paid the fish, though. I totally forgot. I wanted 2 slugs for this thing. Alright, click a habitat spender. Okay, I guess we'll spend the one that's not in the scoring bonus for this round. So the fact that I kept it is irrelevant. Good job, Boris. Alright, sweet. Alright, you laid eggs. You laid eggs. Uh-oh. You guys going for the bonuses now? No, I'm still winning the bonuses. You guys are laying eggs on the wrong things. Alright, cool. So now, do I need to do this? Kind of sucks. It's rather inefficient. I could pay my slug to play this thing and then draw cards. But at the end of the day, I still need to get more slugs. So we're going to play this. I'm not going to discard any cards for an extra. But let's grab a slug from here. And I need to get a fish, actually, annoyingly, so that these guys can both work. They're magic. Click on one other bird card with a brown power to repeat its power. Ah, you can do ones that are yet to come. Well, I don't get any value from it. Oh, no, I do. So I'm going to repeat this one to get the slug. And then for this one, I'm going to get the grain. And then for this one, I get to re-roll and see if it rolls a slug, and it did. So we will take a slug. I'm going to keep this one in here in case this one shows up, if I get to actually do it, and then get that grain die. And that's the end of the round, and I smashed him for 5 points. Good job, me. Alright, so now we're in the second half of the game. There's only 11 total turns left, so I got to work quickly. I got to finish my food engine here, and I also need to improve my card drawing and my egg laying so that I can just start drawing really expensive birds and try to play them. Wood Stork. This is a great one for my strategy. It's worth 6 points. It gives you 2 new bonus cards, and then that's just like extra points on top of it. So yeah, I like that bird. That'd be a good one. Let's go ahead then and play my Spotted Sandpiper. I need to spend an egg. Right. Okay, we'll do that. So when I draw cards, I can use this power. Now this one, do I still want to put it in the forest? I think I do. I think I want to put it in the forest so I start getting 3 food every time I go. But do I really need to get 3 food dice in the forest? Wouldn't it just make sense to do that, to put it here so I can get 3 eggs every time I lay eggs? That might be more useful. Also, this bonus round right here, sets of eggs. Oh, what the? Hey, how does this work? 1 second of 1 egg in the well. Oh, I see. So you don't need to have birds in all of them. It's just like sets of eggs. Got it. Okay, so I should try to make some sets of eggs. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put this one here. This might be wrong, but we'll do it. Pay the slugs. Gotta pay an egg so that the bird can go in there. I will need to pause for a second and get some more eggs. Ah, shoot, someone took that expensive bird. Dang it. Well, that's unfortunate. So you drew birds. This is a star nest with a decent point scoring ability, but we're in the second half of the game. I don't think it's worth it. This thing lets you trade a card for a bird. Yeah, 4 points is fine. This is worth 0 points. Yeah, it's cool that it lays a bunch of eggs, but it's worth 0 points at this stage. Okay, so I want to draw 2 cards. I think I want to get them off the top of the deck. So let's just peel them off the top, hopefully get some value ones. Play a second card in your forest. Now, it's going to be a little tricky to pull off, but I guess well, we'll just draw another one. Gain of food. Okay, this is a bit late. This is a great card to get like as your first card because it's, you know, 1 slug and you gain slugs, and doesn't even have to have a slug die in the feeder. It's just a slug from the supply straight up. So that's great, but at this point it's a bit weak. So what I'm gonna do is, should I give everyone? Yeah, I'll give everybody a card. I really want to try to find some high value cards, like a 7, for example, and it's a bonus point card, so not the greatest, but not terrible either. I'm pretty happy with it. We successfully tuck another card behind my Northern Harrier, which is terrific. Oh gosh, the time is just flying by here. All right, so I need a mouse. There are no mice in the feeder at the moment. It's a bit tough to get mice. I don't mind trading 2 fish for a mouse. Do I want to play this thing now? I could pay the grain as the wild card, a slug, and the 2 fish as a mouse. This thing, do I want to play that? I don't think I want to play this. It's very weak. It's only 3 points. I mean, I'm gonna need eggs at some point, so I could just take the time now to lay some eggs. If I play this first, though, I could pay food to lay an additional egg. That might be helpful. Okay, we're going to see it through. If I take a food action, I'll have 2 actions left, and I'll still be able to play this and then get 4 eggs in the following action. And I might be more efficient with my food if I actually manage to get a mouse. But how do I get a mouse exactly? I'd have to take 1 and then re-roll everything and hope that everything is a mouse for my second die. And I can also discard a card for an extra food die. It's interesting. And then, okay, so if I do this, that's my first action of 3. Playing it would be my second action, and then the third action would be this. To draw, or to play 4 eggs. And I would then have 1 set of eggs across the 3 territories. I don't think I want to go for this bonus. I mean, to get that bonus, I need to take the egg action 2 times. I could, like, play this and take the egg action twice, but this would cost all my food, so there'd be no value to playing it, other than I would be getting extra points for it. Do I want to do this? Do I just play eggs twice? That would lock in my 6-point bonus. 6 points is a lot of points. Okay, I'm going to try this. Could be wrong, but we'll do it. So this is correct. I got to lay my last egg to do this. So what I'm going to do is, which could be potentially wrong, is I'm going to lay just 6 eggs for my last 2 actions of this round. And I'm going to lay them like this. So I'm creating sets for the bonus. All right, now we get a chance to tuck a bird. We do. Terrific. Take a card from hand. Oh, I can tuck a card from my hand. Yeah, I don't want this thing. This is crappy. So yes, I will tuck a card. What do you do after you tuck it? Oh, I draw a card. Whoa, that's awesome. Oh, I forgot all about that. Well, none of these are all that great, so we will draw a random one. This one is a little bit late. 4 points is not good enough for a random card drawing power. But that's fine. It's just a card. Oh, I get to lay a bonus egg. Sweet. Well, let's try to lay a bonus egg in you for the next round, maybe. One thing I find very strange about this game... Oh, God. All players gain... Okay, fine. Whatever. You get to see your score, but you don't get to see your opponent's scores. And they might say, but Papa Boris, of course you can't see your opponent's scores. Your opponents have bonus cards that you don't know what they are. Yes, that's true, but why don't you show me everything else? You could show me everything but their bonus cards. No, this game's just not made right. All right, so anyway, at this point we're going to lay eggs again. And actually, I think I will just pay that stupid slug to lay an extra egg that I got for free from one of the other people's birds, because it's an extra point at the end of the game, and I think I should be fine on slugs. If I lose, I don't have a slug. I guess, you know, that's what happens. So we'll go... Okay, so none of my forest eggs have the right nest, so we'll just try to spread them out for my bonus card. Right, I want to have every bird with at least one egg laid on at the end of the game. Okay, having said that, I am going to ignore the next round's bonus by getting all these eggs down. Oh, I guess I'll fill up this bird then. And then I get to look at a... Oh, I get to try to tuck a thing, and I do. That's terrific. And then I get to tuck a card. Well, I'm never going to play this wood duck for 3 resources and just 4 points. So we'll tuck it for a point and draw a card. We'll draw a random one because I don't like any of those. This is not that great. It's too late for this kind of a resource power. I just want high value point birds. And then I get to lay a bonus egg. We'll make sure you have an egg on you. All right. And so that's going to end the round. And I am going to get 6 points because I'm the only one who's going to have 2 sets. This guy actually ended up getting 1 set, but that's good. The difference between first and tied for first is pretty significant. If we tied for first, it'd be 9 divided by 2, which is 4 points. Instead, this is 6 points. So I get 2 extra points, and this person gets 1 fewer point. So it's like a 3-point swing versus this person, and a 2-point swing versus that person. So that's pretty important, I think. Okay, so we have just 5 turns left. Oh my gosh, the game is just rushing to a finish here. It's a little bit scary. Okay, so now I want some high-value birds to finish this. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. Lots of points and a bonus card. So, yes, we're going to grab that. Let's take this card action before anyone else does. Take you, and we'll take a random one from the deck, which is, well, it's 4 points. I talked about this one before. It's 1 resource for 4 points. I might just stick it down, you know, just to get a cheap thing down. That's fine. Should I draw? Yeah, I want to draw a card from the deck. I'm gambling that with my superior food gathering, I'll be able to make better use of the extra drawing than the other people will. That's, well, it's an extra point when it's activated, but it's not going to get activated that much. I only have 4 actions left. Okay, we get to try to tuck a card. We succeed. That's an extra point at the end of the game. Cool beans. Crap, there's only 4 actions left. Oh my god, this is so fast. They got food. They laid eggs. Alright, so I definitely want to play this one. I'll need a slug, a grain, and a fish. It's a little bit scary, but we're going to have to just go for it. So, do I want this die? I actually do want it because that is a slug, which I want. So we're going to take that and take a slug. Now I'm going to pitch a card. I am never going to play you, so that we get an extra food die. And then now it's time to re-roll. I get 2 more dice, basically. Alright, well, we didn't roll any fish, unfortunately. But we can, with our 2 remaining dice, take the mouse and the berry, and then re-roll it. Oh, God, that seems risky. What would be the point of re-rolling? If I re-roll it, I'm still not going to be able to get the fish, because none of these things can get me fish. So I might as well just take things I actually want. Do I want you? I actually might not. I might play this one. This is just 1 resource for 4 points. So I'm going to take this and get a slug. And then I guess I'll take, I don't know, a mouse. Do I get another one? No, that's it. So we'll do that. Now I get to repeat a power. Ah, yes. Okay, well, I wish I had I wish I had a point scoring power in my forest. That might have been a smart thing to try to get. Like this thing, for example, would have been a good thing to have played. Well, anyway, I guess I'll just repeat. It doesn't really matter. I'll just repeat this one, get the berry. And then this one, I'm going to get a grain. And this one, I'm going to use the wild die to get a slug. There were lots of wild dice in that feeder. So we just got a zillion food. And I'm going to have to pay 2 slugs as a fish, because fish is the one thing I don't have. And we're running out of time to try to dick around. Before, like, to try to get, a fish. So, yeah, I'm going to just play this thing for 6 points and a bonus card. I got to pay an egg. It's tricky business. I want birds to have at least 1 egg on them, but I also want to try to have a surplus of eggs on this nest type. I'm gonna just, if I have an extra egg action, I think this. Oh god, I'm way behind. I'm not gonna catch up. Yeah, so I'm not super concerned about it. We're just gonna get rid of it. It's fine. Okay, birds with those weird nests or birds that eat grain. Okay. I need 5 grain-eating birds just to get 3 points, or 4 birds just to get 4 points. Okay, I have 3 birds with that kind of a nest. If I play this, it counts, because it's a wild card. So I get 4 points for this one, and only 3 for the other one, because I'm not going to get super high value out of either one of those, unfortunately. Alright, so that's that. Okay. Everybody gets a slug. Shoot, at the end of the game, I like to take the egg action a lot, because it's just like 4 points, basically. And more if it gets me to a bonus card. I'm committed, though. I need to play the Starbird. Because I was thinking, I play this and I get 4 points, or I could just lay eggs and get 4 points. It's not a big difference. But yeah, I need to play this. I don't actually get 4 points. I get 3. Because I need to pay an egg. Oh, I have to pay 2 eggs to play this. Oh god, I shouldn't have taken that bonus card. Shoot. I should have... Actually, both those bonus cards were fails then. Because on my last action, I basically now have to take the egg action to make sure I mate this one's condition. Birds that have at least 1 egg left on them. So yeah, we gotta draw, because I think I messed up a little bit this game. I think I spent too much time daydreaming about having a massive food engine, and the game was just ending too soon. So we're definitely going to pay a food to get an extra egg, because it's trading something that's not worth a point for an egg, which is worth a point. Let's take a quick look at what's going on here. I'd have to lay all 4 eggs just to tie this guy. And then I would get 3 points for doing that if he didn't exceed me. Okay, can you get any more eggs on that type of nest? You actually can't. Okay. So, how many... I only have 6 birds with at least 1 egg. Oh, man, that's heartbreaking. So if I do... Oh, no. It works, I think. Okay, so if I do this... Hello? Why? What is going on? Okay, so if I lay an egg on this bird and that bird, that means I have 9? Oh, I have 8. Ah, okay. So the thing is, I could continue to lay eggs on these types of nests and not on these birds, which would mean I lose 3 points because I have only 8 birds with at least 1 egg on them instead of 9. But then I gain back... Oh, I'm going to get 3 points anyway. Oh, so I only really just dragged this guy. No, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. Okay, so never mind that. Oops, not the right thing. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that we have enough... Hello? Hello? What is going on here? Oh, what? It undid that. Why did it undo that? Oh my god, this interface. Alright, so let's get you down. And let's get you... And then let's get you... And then we're going to do this. And then this Roadrunner can maybe tuck a card for me. It can. Terrific. Hello? Oh, right. And then you... Oh, I can tuck a card. Yes, excellent. Well, that's a free point. Might as well. And it doesn't really matter what I get because the game's over. Oh, I get a bonus egg! Oh my god, that's amazing! So I actually do get to tie him and also fulfill the full quota on this card. Tremendous. Tremendous. Okay, that's the end of it. I got only 5? What? I thought I took. What did I do wrong? Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Well, any hoodle, it maybe won't matter. So, yeah, time to see the final scoring. I gotta hand it to this app. It does do a really good job with the suspenseful scoring thingy at the end. So, see, I had very valuable birds. I did a pretty good job with the end of round goals. I think I had a pretty good number of eggs at the end. And then I had my tucked cards, which was pretty substantial. All right, yep, I did it. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe to the video if and you did. And I'll see you again soon for some more stuff, but probably not this game. Take care.